Subscribe and click the bell icon for the latest updates and notifications from the Indian Express.
England have reached the semi-finals of the World Cup. We are not talking about the cricket team, but the women's football team. They beat Norway yesterday. But most England cricket fans would have expected the team to be in the semi-final by now.
Definitely. I mean, the England started off as contenders, and then they have a little bit of digress in the last couple of matches. Sri Lanka was a surprise match, and then they lost to Australia. Given the favourite stack, they've really underperformed in the last two games, and so India present the stiffest test for them.
Sandeep, do you the match at Headingley and Lords, the way England batted against Sri Lanka and then against Australia, they have come in for criticism for their one-dimensional, all-out batting. Do you think they sort of didn't have a second plan and they stuck to their guns because that has given them success till up to the World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, they have the batsmen, they have multi-dimensional batsmen, but the strategy was perhaps a little one-dimensional. I mean, they were a little pedantic in their approach. Like, they didn't know exactly how to come out of the Sri Lanka defeat. Like, James Wins is opener. I mean, James Wins is a very elegant player, but he takes him going. So they needed some change up the order, and probably Jason Roy might return for the India match, and that could bolster England.
Yes, there's a lot of talk about Jason Roy coming back for the India game, but how crucial is someone like Jason Roy at the top of the order for India?
Yeah, Jason Roy can give that impetus to England, like 30, 40 balls, he can score some 50, 60 runs. That's England have always relied on that start by Jason Roy. Like, whenever Jason Roy's got big runs, England have always won. So you need Jason Roy to bolster them. But India will be a different kettle of fish. Like, you have Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Hardik Pandya even. So, this is the most multi-dimensional attack England's one-dimensional batsman will encounter.
Interesting. And talking about Mohammad Shami, he didn't play the first few matches. Then he was picked when Bhuvneshwar Kumar was injured, and he's become a match winner in 2 games. How do you see his bowling? I mean, we always thought that Bumrah would be the key, but here's one guy who's really picked up the wickets and put the pressure in 2 games in which India had posted subpar scores.
I was actually surprised why he didn't play from the first game, because he is a kind of bowler who can, irrespective of conditions, irrespective of the nature of the wicket, he can deliver. He can seam the ball, he can swing the ball, he can hit the deck. I mean, that's probably the biggest quality you find in him. He can hit the deck, and the heavy ball for example, the ball that got Gale out. It's a classic case of a heavy ball. So he can deliver such heavy balls, and which opening batsmen, before they get their eye in, it's very difficult to face. And the only issue with Shami was his inconsistency of play. Like, for example, in test matches, you see him doing very well in second innings, and faltering in the first. But here he's hit the strap straight away, which is great news. Shami, an accurate Shami is perhaps as deadly as Bumrah, and he can be deadlier also, with the kind of seam movement he can extract.
And then we have the Indian spinners who England sort of played quite well in the bilateral ODI series, but
initially the first couple of matches they were really troubled by Kuldeep especially, but then they figured it out. But Kuldeep, with wrist spinners, you can never figure them out actually, because they come up with something or the other. Like, for example, Kuldeep, when you look at Kuldeep from 2 years ago, he has really mastered the drift. He drifts. I mean, he initially also used drift, but the control of the drift has been exceptional, and that's going to trouble England. England, if they don't use their feet, Joe Root, an exceptional player of spin, but other than Joe Root, there are quite a few players who are not quite adept at playing spin.
So India, so far, everything turning out well for them. They have beaten the defending champions. They have beaten Pakistan, and tomorrow they
favorites also.
Favorites, yeah, and they are up against the England side, which isn't very high on confidence. Do you think the middle order is a sort of a worry? I know that India won all the games, but if there is a Achilles heel in this team,
it might sound like nitpicking, but actually you need a little bit more heft to our middle order. There's nobody like Suresh Raina or Yuvraj Singh back in the day, and that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is giving it all, and he's putting in a decent shift, but it's not the Dhoni of the past. And Jadhav also takes his time. I mean, you need, against a team like England, I think you need 30-40 more runs than what we managed against West Indies or
What do you make of the talk? Like you were saying, with the 200 mid 200 range scores won't work against tougher teams. What do you think of the theory of people saying that they should play Rishabh Pant, and if you bring him in, if you feel they should, like, who do you drop? It's a
Possibly Vijay Shankar. If Rishabh Pant is to be included in this squad, should be at the expense of Vijay Shankar, which, like, maybe Kedar can bear at number 4 and Rishabh Pant at number 5. I mean, let's keep it very flexible. Like, Rishabh Pant is won't be a bad choice given the explosive skills he has. Like, he can add some 30-40 runs if he gets going, and he's quite used to England. He did pretty well in the Test series back then. He scored a beautiful 100 in OVL. So. And he's that kind of a guy who takes on challenges. I mean, he has a few technical deficiencies and all, but he's a very talented youngster.
And when it comes to pressure, England are likely to be under immense pressure because they are playing India and then they're up against New Zealand, right?
Yeah, they're up against
So
New
they're
Zealand.
two must-win games, but India is sitting pretty comfortably as of now. And this is a scenario England fans didn't probably expect at the stage of the World Cup. The knockouts have come early for England. Let's see how they do